Hi, Matt with eTrailer, and today we're going to be talking about the RockyMounts MonoRail Bike Rack on the back of our 2022 Nissan Rogue. Now this is going to be a great bike rack if you're looking for something that's going to be able to hold a variety of different types of bikes. So let's take a closer look at it. This is going to have the weight capacity of up to 60 pounds per bike, holding up to 2 of them. Now that's not going to affect this tilt-away. Sometimes if you get some of those racks that have a really high weight capacity, they're not going to tilt back very far. This one is going to tilt back a decent amount, and we're going to have access to our hatch too. So that's going to be great if you need to get anything like groceries or put anything up or get your gear out ready for your ride. But after when you close this, you can come back around, and all you have to do to put this back into the seated position is lift on it. Now that might be a little difficult if you do have some heavy e-bikes on here, but with a regular mountain bike you'll be fine. Now if you want to take a closer look at this rack, I'm going to take off my bike. I like to start with this strap on the back. Now I will say that is one of the good points about this rack is one of the reasons why it can hold a variety of different types of bikes is because we're not making any frame contact since we have this front ratcheting hook. So it's great for alternative or carbon frame bikes. And with the bike off, I can go take it for a ride. And if you notice, we can take a closer look at those cradles. And those cradles will be able to accommodate a couple different tire sizes, from our skinny, standard to 5-inch fat tires. And then we're going to have this back brace on that front tire so it doesn't move around a lot. But when you're not using it, you can put it back down and put this arm back in place so it's not in the way when you're driving. But now we can get some measurements on how it's going to sit back here. Going from our back bumper to the back of the carrier, which is going to be this arm right here. That's going to sit at about 31 inches, which isn't too bad. It's something to keep in mind though if you're in a tight spot like a parking spot or garage. And for our ground clearance, going from the handlebar down here, that's going to be around 16 inches. It's not too bad, but definitely keep in mind if you have some heavy e-bikes on here, that's going to drop down some, and it could be a problem if you're going up a really steep hill. Just keep an eye on it. Now if you want to save on some space and you don't have a bike on here, you can tilt that up. You just pull that blue lever. And that's one of the reasons why I do like this rack is all the touch points are going to be coated in blue, so it's really easy to use. And the distance away now, it's going to be about 10.5 inches, so that's going to save you a lot of space. As far as how it's going to sit on the back of the Rogue, it's not going to block your license plates, and you might see a little bit out of your backup camera. There's nothing that's going to prevent you from backing up though. And your taillights and back window won't be obstructed either. As for how it's installed, it's going to go into your 2-inch hitch receiver, and then it's going to have this 3¼ inch anti-rattle bolt that goes through into a locking core. And that's going to prevent it from shaking around when you're driving. Overall, it's a pretty solid choice, especially if you're just looking for something that does have the ability to carry a variety of different types of bikes, but at more of an affordable rate rather than some of our more premium bike racks. Now, if you do want something more premium that is easier to use, then I'd recommend the Kuat NV 2.0 base bike rack. It has all the same features, only things are going to be integrated, and like I said, easier to use. But if you just like this one because you just want something that's going to accommodate your heavy e-bikes and your carbon frame bikes, this is one of the best options you can find. But if you liked everything you saw today, that's just a look at the RockyMounts MonoRail Bike Rack on the back of our 2022 Nissan Rogue.
Here on our test course, we'll start by going through the slalom. This is going to show us the side-to-side action, which simulates turning corners or evasive maneuvers. Once we get to the alternating speed bumps, we'll see the twisting action. This will simulate hitting a curb or a pothole or driving over uneven pavement. Now lastly, we're going over some full speed bumps, and we can see here the up and down action, and this will just be like driving in and out of a parking lot, garage, or driveway.